Hello, good day, welcome to Hug Nation Live. It's John Halcyon. I'm here to have a moment of gratitude and connection. I would love to hear what you are grateful for. And I'd love to just remember and remind myself and know that you are out there, that you are one of the millions of open-minded, big-hearted people that fill this planet, but it's so easy to lose sight of as we get caught into the loud voices of conflict that the algorithms pump up, that the news inflates. Not just it's real that those voices are out there, but I know that if I don't really make an effort, I can forget, or if not forget, certainly not. My mind is filled with thoughts of worry and concern and fear, discouragement. So it's good to take a little bit of time to not to bypass, not to dismiss, but to add to the mental loops, ones of gratitude, one of appreciation, ones of recognition, of the gift of being alive, of the beauty of fellow humans, of the magnificence of nature. And when you can, be specific. So I am grateful for a dip in the ocean yesterday. At the end of the day, I was up in Solana Beach packing up after the men's group, and I was loading up the car and had more stuff than I intended, and I was sweaty and just was focused on getting home, and then remembered that one of the guys in the group had talked during our circle about bringing someone to the ocean and just having them get in the ocean as a process of healing. And as I was like sweaty and a little irritable, I'm like, I'm right by the ocean. Why don't I just go down and go in? And so grateful that I did that, and grateful for him for putting that thought in my head. And so I could just float and soak. And I mean, I went about waist deep and then just laid down and bobbed for a bit. Water's super warm right now. So grateful for the ocean, for its proximity, and grateful for, that's a good example of the kind of thing that I get out of men's groups, of just as people share heartfelt stories or questions or reflections, the things that I hear in that space of vulnerability and truth and realness stick with me, and remind me and pop into my head at times. I am seeing no comments, so I'm not sure if that is a process of technology or otherwise, but so grateful for the men's group yesterday. I've been doing a quarterly men's gathering, like a day event, and it was yesterday. Had a great group. I was 11 of us, and I'm still kind of processing and sorting through it. I think that there was a lot of, I mean, connection and making friends as men who are no longer college age, is even that in and of itself has got a lot of value. So really grateful for the connections and the conversations and the learning more about different lives and relationships. And yeah, it's just soothing to hear how much overlap there is in the struggle of being a human, and especially when we share a culture and a gender. Good morning, Hope. Good morning. Happy Monday. And good morning, Chris. hopefully you are back from, you're mentally and physically back from the burn, Chris, and settled. Hopefully not too settled. Hopefully dust still pumping through your veins. I'm also grateful that this weekend I had for Saturdays. So this is every once in a while I have a weekend that is the first Saturday of the month, and I try to schedule the men's group on that weekend. So it is a whole lot of like, I guess, responsibility, as I'm running co-running the First Saturdays event and running the men's group. Both of those are where I've learned that running it involves a lot of letting go and surrender and trusting. And it's often when I start to my faith in the container and the flow wavers, and I try to control things or think I need to add something, that's often when it does the opposite. But I'm really grateful that I have both this weekend, and I was able to have some nice connections with neighbors in need that I don't see except for those once a month gatherings. Grateful I got to have a whole bunch of new volunteers. I got I think a positive experience. And grateful that we got to give away tons of clothing and food and clean socks to people who really appreciate it. Grateful for an interaction I had with one gentleman he was first in line today, and it was really powerful to hear his story and hear how he's got through aid, and he's got a room that he stays in, so he's got a roof over his head, and just hearing he has a situation where he can work a little bit. So occasionally he does. He helps he has a friend who does a moving company. So every once in a while he does some moving and other labor stuff. So I got his phone number in case I had some work for him. But he said that a few months ago he got really sick, and he was so grateful that he had some family that were able to help him pay his rent. And he's got a reduced, subsidized rent, but it's still something. And he was able to have his family help him through this period of time when he was, really sick. And it's such a good reminder of how important a network is and support is, and how so many people do not have that. And so many people that on First Saturday situation, it's having no safety net that makes a couple bad luck moments and you've got nothing. And it's tough to get out of that situation once you're in it. But so I'm just grateful for perspective, and there's so much to be grateful for. Chris says, getting back in the groove. Grateful for pleasant weather here and the gathering of my British sports car friends at a festival yesterday. I love that you got British sports car friends. Thanks, Chris. Good morning, Mingle. I love you too. I'm grateful for, I just started this book. It's I think it's the Upright Citizens Brigade Manual, which is a improv group. And I love improv comedy. But I've never taken an improv class. Actually, I took one at a workshop. I mean, a day workshop. It's a couple hour thing. But I've never been in an improv troupe or gone to ongoing classes. But I love podcasts that do improv and talk about improv. And so I've been really enjoying the kind of hearing the structure and some of the as they explain all the pieces and the directions, I'm of course, that makes sense. I witness that all the time, but I'm grateful for the hearing it. It's kind of like I know the sky is blue, and then someone goes, "Oh, it's because the light rays refracts at this." Like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. And so like, oh, I see why I appreciate the beauty of the sky, and I appreciate the genius of improv, and then seeing like the equations that make it work. Like, oh yeah. Good morning, Philos. Good morning. Good morning. Does anybody want to share anything that they're feeling grateful for before we have a hug and head out into the day? I'm grateful for my brother, who is a part of the men's group. It was really special to have him return. Chris says, I am grateful to hear Mingle's talk at the Pink Ride this year. Well, I'm certainly grateful to hear that. So cool. I've expressed many times grateful that Mingle gave a talk and helped lead the Pink Ride this year. So such a special experience for me. And people keep asking, what was it like? How was your brand? I go, well, I felt like I had art projects that were happening, that were being led by people on my team. So super cool to know that Chris and Mingle were on Team Pink Ride this year. I'm grateful for the new Stay Sparked episode that just went live. It's on clear communication. I think there's a lot of really good stuff. In fact, a lot of my conversations lately have involved aspects of clear communication, why it can be so difficult, and how it's worth it. So worth it to get through the awkwardness and build trust, and how much difficulty can build up over time if you fall into patterns of like trying to tell people what they want to hear, or avoiding asking for exactly what you want, and resentment and misunderstanding and projecting and all sorts of things that just are disconnecting. Good morning, Kiri. Happy Monday. Well, I'm grateful to see all of you today. I'm grateful to get to start this week. I don't know if I have a short week or not. I'm heading to Big Sur this weekend. I'm not sure exactly what day we leave, but Lisa is officiating a wedding in Big Sur this weekend. So excited to go up and be her date, and I love the couple that's getting married as well. YouTube comments not coming through. That's a bummer. Restream dropping the ball once again. Well, thank you for letting me know. Gerbot, appreciate you. And I apologize. I wonder if I can see them if I do this. Maybe. Let's see. I'll just take 1 second and go to my channel. It'll let me and go. What? Oh, I'm in the wrong place. There we go. Mingle has gratitude for Gerbot and that he is a badass. Hell yeah. Let's see. Will it let me see? Yes, okay. Hey, Juan. Good morning. Good morning, high noon. And good morning, clean water. The Water's Clean and Cold says, grateful for personal agency and being responsible for actions instead of blaming others. Nice. Anyone else want to share the last gratitudes? I think Kiri's grateful for my big old heart. I love that. Let's close with that. So wherever you are, thanks for being here. Let's give ourselves a big old squeeze, appreciating our bodies this day, the people in our lives, the choices we get to make, the ability to be kind and know that our ripples make a positive difference in the world. If we could just align with that person that we know that we are. So let's get out of the way and let those hearts shine and our kindness flow and be connected in this moment. Feel strengthened by camaraderie as we take a deep breath in. Squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and everybody who's here and everybody who isn't but is with us in intention, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of Hug Nation Live. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your week.